sometimes it's not about just say, I want to write a book, but you need to let your book add value and let your book address issues in the industries. Yeah. The content of the book will determine how you can harness the opportunity the book will bring for you.
Okay.
So your content must be very rich, detailed, and targeted at some specific individual. Yeah. My book was targeted at entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
You know, so what you want to start after your paid employment, you should start it before leaving that paid employment.
Yeah. Hello, my beautiful viewers and listeners. This is your podcast, Page to Shelf, powered by Bookspider. It's this podcast where we dive into the world of literature and explore the stories behind the stories. You know how we do it, right? So after the short break, I'm going to be introducing our guests and the topic for today's episode. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's still your podcast, Page to Shelf, powered by Bookspider. Today's episode, we'll be discussing why write a book. In previous episode, our guests really expatiated this topic. It brought a different perspective to this topic, and I'm sure we really enjoyed it. So, I have another amazing guest that will be with us today in the studio, and we're going to be discussing why write a book. He's an author, he's an engineer, he's the full package with brains. And I'm going to be introducing our guests. Just going to read a brief profile. Engineer Oyewole Akinloye Shobade. He is an accomplished professional and CEO and managing director of Ample System Projects Limited. He is a respected industry leader who employs a blend of technical expertise and business acumen in his endeavors, making significant contributions to the engineering sector. He is also an active member of esteemed organizations in the engineering industry, both in and outside Nigeria, and he is keen on building businesses with global footprints. He currently holds an MBA in Business Strategy from the Metropolitan School of Business and Management, United Kingdom. Engineer Oyewole firmly believes in the power of self-development. This philosophy has guided him in embracing the role of a mentor to young people and empowering them to achieve personal and professional success. Isn't that a bio? Please let's welcome our guest, Engineer Oyewole Akinloye Shobade. It's nice to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you. And congratulations on your book launch. Yeah. It was a big success, and we are not ready for what you are giving us. We are not ready. Thank you, sir, for joining us. So today's topic, why write a book? And as an author, we want to hear your own perspective. What made you write a book? We want to know your background story. So can you share a little about your background story and what led you to becoming a business owner, a CEO of a big industry? Just tell us your background story.
Okay. Good morning once again, and it's a privilege to be here. Thanks for having me to come share my personal experience and my entrepreneurship journey. I think there is no way I would talk about why I wrote the book without talking about my humble beginning.
Yes, exactly.
That is actually what led to what
inspired
me, to write the book. And yes, my name is Oyewole Shobade. I from a family of 6. I'm the number 4, the second son, and then I hail from Ogun State. Started my journey. I was born in Lagos. Let me state that also. That part many people don't know again. I was born in Lagos State, raised in Lagos State, and school in Lagos State. Yeah, so though I had some part of my tertiary education outside Lagos, so but it's been Lagos boy So yes, I had a very rough beginning, coming from a family that my father was a tailor, and then my mom was a petty trader, and yes, we came from a very, I don't want to use the word the poorest, yeah, but it's an humble beginning for me, and that really from the beginning I was there was this thing that caught my attention, that propelled the passion and the determination that I must succeed. I could remember then while on the streets, and then while I couldn't go to school, I would see some children in the car, in the AC, coming back from school, and while we're passing through our street, they wave at us. Then I would look at it that, wow, these are some children, enjoying. But I made that determination that I'm going to change the narrative, from the family, and then that has really inspired me, to do more.
Yes, sir.
I was working very hard, did a whole lot of menial job at 14 years. Started doing a lot of menial jobs through bricklaying, plumbing, electrical works. There's nothing you can.
What have you not done?
That I've not done. I don't see anything that I've not done.
Yeah.
And then I could remember one of the situations that my elder sister, got married, and I went on one of my search for my job, and I was one of the best laborer, for bricklaying, one of the bricklayers on the street then.
Yeah.
So he called me for a job. Then I went there, and then it was I think it was a decking or something we're doing work. It was a concrete work.
Okay.
And then lo and behold, the owner of the house walked into the site, and it was my elder sister's husband.
Wow.
He was shocked that
Wow.
So I had this belief from when I was very small, that I learned to be independent. Let me put it that way. Even though some of my family members were okay, but I decided that I'm not going to ask for any favor. I want to build myself. I want to build my legacy with God by my side. So it's been very rough. We did a whole lot of menial jobs, but here we are today,
Yeah,
so this is having gone through all these hard work, smart work, and networking, and getting up to this stage. That's what really motivates me. So writing that book, I have a whole lot of factors apart from my humble beginning. Now, what inspired me at this level, to write that book is I have 3 sets of people, in my life presently.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the number one set of people are the people that knows my humble beginning, and the second set of people are the people that knows me. Probably we met in school, we grew up together after all these, struggles and all that. And the third set of people are the people I met probably in the business line. And after, I got an employment, I was working and all that. So, yes, 2021, I left paid employment. And from 2021 to date has been God, and it has been a story of,
God's grace.
Fantastic story, so to say. So, why I wrote that book is I was trying to avoid, misleading some set of people. Why do I say that? There are some set of people that saw me 2022. This guy just resigned, and boom, he was successful. But that was not
magic.
The case. So it's I don't want to mislead some people.
Yes,
not to have that idea that you can just wake up and be successful. This is a capital no. So there is a time for sowing, and there is a time for reaping. And there's it's a process.
Yeah,
it's a process. So having wrote that book is just to explain my process, how I got to where I am today. What are the things that work for me? So I believe what I've put into the book is my personal journey, what works for me. Yes, what works for me might not work for you, but of course, definitely you can pick 1 or 2 things, to learn. Also, I read books, and I got 1 or 2 different things from different authors that motivate us, that change our lives. So definitely, is to change the narrative to let people know, the younger ones, and that there is a process.
There's a process
to being a successful person.
Yeah. It doesn't just come like that.
It doesn't just happen like that.
If wishes were horses.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was so insightful. It's not easy. Look at him now. Like, someone seeing you today will not imagine your background, what you've been through, and this only shows that hard work and determination pays. So, what were the challenges you faced while publishing this book? Because I know it's not easy balancing, writing the book, being an author, the whole process, and still managing your business. When they call you something, do this, and you're still trying to meet deadlines for your book project and all. So, how did you balance it? What were the challenges you faced?
There were a whole lot of challenges. It's not easy. The kind of business we handle and some other things that can keep one busy as a lead servant in the company. So most times, first of all, I would like to say thank you to BookSpider, because it's been, a journey of over a year. We've been working together. And then I know sometimes you have appointment to meet to discuss about the books and all that. I change a whole lot of appointments. I know. So most times trying to put things together, I had a lot of sleepless nights. I have to prepare ahead of the meeting with BookSpiders and all that. So most times I don't sleep. So that is what a lot of people should know. While we were growing up, we read a lot about the big men, people like Dangote and all that. They hardly sleep, so we thought it was a joke. But now we are in it, and then we can see that there's sometimes sleep don't come. Sometimes you are sleeping, you are even thinking of
what you're going to do,
what today, plans, a lot of things you need to do and all that. So it's not an easy one, because the only time I have most times is midnight, and that's when I do most of the thing. Some jobs that I could not do, you attend meetings, attend a lot of things during the day, then you come back home in the night and settle down to a lot of things. So you had a whole lot of carryover sleeps. So it's not been easy, doing this project, but it's better off doing it with BookSpider.
Thank you. Once again, Page to Shelf is powered by BookSpider, a publishing firm. So we're going to go on a short break, and when we come back, we are going to explore more. You can see that my guest is loaded. I hope we are getting punchlines. It's not easy to be a business owner. You don't just, wake up and then you're successful. So when we come back, we'll discuss more. Don't go anywhere.
Get ready for intellectually stimulating conversations, a podcast like no other. It's the Page to Shelf podcast. Join us as we navigate the world of creativity, from book ideation and publication to bookshelves and everything after that. Coming your way soon. Page to Shelf podcast, powered by BookSpider.
Welcome back. It's still your podcast, Page to Shelf, powered by BookSpider. And we are discussing why write a book. And it's been an amazing moment with engineer Oyewole Shubande in the building. So we are going to, dive further. After writing your book, what is the most surprising outcome from publishing your book? Like so far, what was the most surprising outcome from writing your book, both personally and professionally? The feedbacks you've gotten, the things you did not expect, and you're like, okay, so this can come from writing a book. So what are the surprising outcomes you've gotten?
Honestly, it's been amazing. And then I must tell you, if on a scale of 1 to 10, if I can tell you that my network has always been between 1 to 5, but after the publishing and the launching of this book, I must tell you that my network has increased from 1 to like 8.5. I must tell you, because a lot of calls, messages, both in the country, outside the country, from partners. In fact, some of my partners in Chinese are asking me to convert the book to Chinese for them, because they want to read. And I have another request from France from my partners that I should convert it to French. So this is the next project I'm working on. Yeah, so that we can have this in these two languages, which is what the request we've had at this moment we've gotten. So it's been interesting, I must tell you. Sometimes I was like, oh. So I think what I've tried to do is something I personally don't know the value. But until I see people recommending these books, for instance, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce bought 100 copies for mentors.
Wow.
For mentees.
Wow.
For new entrepreneurs scheme. They have a program called Best.
Okay.
So they bought 100 pieces of this book for the new trainee entrepreneur. So for me, and also they've adopted me as a mentor. And also as a speaker for one of their program and all that. So this is a whole lot for me. I've been receiving calls for people to come around, to come and talk about the book, be their mentor, which is what I don't think I really, think is going to come my way.
Expect
so exactly, immediately after this book also, it's interesting to know that my name was published as the best 100 entrepreneurs, the Guardian newspaper.
Wow, that's amazing.
That is coming after the launch of the book also. So there are a lot of things that has happened within this, short space that, this made me to believe, one of the book Mike Muros, wrote that the richest place on earth is the graveyard. Because a whole lot of people died
with knowledge,
with a whole lot of things they're carrying. So for me, I've been able to pour part of. In fact, this book was not even whole. We try to reduce because we know that a whole lot of people don't like book to be too big and all that. So far, it's just so. We try to, reduce the content and all that. So, but the little we have done, I know it has really impacted a lot of people. So for me, it's a very, very good feedback from a lot of partners, both in and outside the country.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy for you. Like, this is amazing. It is amazing. I want to ask, how can a book shape industry conversations or challenge ideas? Like, your book is about encouraging young entrepreneurs. How can a book really spark conversations, industry conversations? Let's say in the line of engineering now. If you want to write a book about engineering, how do you think a book impacts industry conversations?
So, writing a book is not just sitting there. I said, I want to write a book. You must have the reason for writing a book. So, how the book can shape industries is to identify the key lapses in the industries. What I mean, for instance, my book, there are some part of the book that I spoke about managing resources, spoke about networking, because I see that a whole lot of entrepreneurs in this part of the country believe that everything will come to you. But my friend, no. Sometimes you need to go for a whole lot of things, I've had mentors that told me that sometimes you need to fly on an unplanned trip just because you want to meet someone. I have a mentor here. He was hoping to meet a particular person, and he got the information that the person was traveling to the US. And then what he did was just to
travel
with, not just travel, he made sure he paid for a seat beside the person.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the ticket was expensive, yes.
Sacrifice.
But the sacrifice worth it, yes. Because after, they went on that trip and he came back, he was able to get contact, they went on the conversation. And then, lo and behold, they came back, they strike a deal, they have businesses together till date. They're still doing business, So sometimes it's not about just say, I want to write a book, but you need to let your book add value and let your book address issues in the industries. So for me, I wrote some of these things because a lot of people in my line of business don't really know how to network or don't really know. So also what my book has also brought, because in attendance to my book launch were a lot of chambers of commerce, which I'm a member of. The Turkish Nigeria Chamber of Commerce were there. The Director General for Nigeria, NASIMA, which is the whole body for all chambers of commerce in Nigeria, were all present. And a whole lot of people asked those questions after the launch. Wow, so you are a member of all these, blah, blah, So as I'm telling you now, I have a whole lot of entrepreneurs who they are already joining all these chambers of commerce. So this is a whole lot of information they will get from these chambers, because most of these chambers have bilateral, agreement with Nigeria and all that. And then when there are business opportunities, they have to go through this chamber. Sometimes you want to have a business with company outside the country, and what they will do, they have to do a back-end information of searching your company through the chambers. So that is why it's important. I stress it in my book. So I believe that book is talking to some entrepreneurs about networking, about, adding value to yourself by joining some of these chambers. So writing a book is not just writing a book, but it should address the needs for entrepreneurs in the industry.
That was amazing. Thank you so much, sir. So you said something about how your book has brought, your networking level. If it was 5, now is 8.5. So how do you recommend business owners to look beyond just selling their book, but using it, to leverage for influencing, networking, and business growth? So how would you say how do you recommend them to use their book, business owners to use their book beyond just sales?
Well, like I said earlier, the content of the book will determine how you can harness the opportunity the book will bring for you.
Okay.
So your content must be very rich, detailed, and targeted at some specific individual. My book was targeted at entrepreneurs, So a whole lot of people. And if you look at the book, Build It, Scale It, it's not just a book for already made entrepreneurs. So it's also give you, as an employee who want to start something after. So also in my book, I stress that, what you want to start after your paid employment, you should start it before leaving that paid employment. So this book targets a whole lot of people. Either you're already in business, you want to do business, or you are thinking of doing business. You understand?
Yes.
So it's a whole lot of
content,
a whole lot of package that was discussed, put together in the book.
Okay, thank you, sir. So one question: if you want to give tips for other entrepreneurs that want to write a book, what are the tips you give to them? 3 tips, just your first 3 tips to writing a book.
Well, I think I've said many of it while I was discussing. So if I will give a tip for any entrepreneur or anybody that wants to write a book, 1, your book should speak more of what you know. What I mean by what you know, so I don't want to say about yourself, but most times it's good to write a book that goes along with your line of thought, your ideas, your belief, your philosophy. So it might not be in business. Is what I mean, because a whole lot of people write different kind of books. It depends on what tomorrow I may decide to write about, maybe workplace culture. I may decide to write any book about workplace culture. I may decide to write a book about hiring staff. I may, so it should be something personally I have experience on. It's always good because it makes it so easy, and then you should be determined to have a target audience. Like I said, you don't just write a book to say it's not a Bible. Bible is meant for the general. In fact, Bible is targeted as religious. I mean, so Christians, let me put it that way. Of course, we have some scholars. I mean, some other religion believe that just to study and know what is in the Bible. So I believe it should be tailored to what you believe. It should be directed to a targeted audience, and it should be precise. It should be precise.
One question for business owners out there that feel like they're not writers. I don't know how to write, but I know what I want to say. What's your advice to them? How do they go about it?
Yeah, it's one thing for you to know what to say, and it's another thing for you to know what to write. but I believe that knowing what to say is more important than knowing how to write it. Because, like I said, it's still boiled down to ideas. Ideas is the most important thing. You can always get support to execute your ideas. You know, ideas are not just meant for you. You might be the carrier of the ideas, but you can, leverage on other support to execute the ideas. So for me, I think I will advise anybody that has insights, ideas about writing a book, you have what to write, but you don't know how to write it, then the best place to be is to contact Sabi Writers. Because yes, they supported me also, even in terms of my book projects, and then the publishing house, which is a Book Spider. So I will advise anybody who is willing and ready to write a book, but doesn't have the time and doesn't know how. So Sabi Writers know the how to do it.
And Book Spider will make it come out
exactly.
top-notch. Excellent quality.
Exactly.
So after Build It, Scale It, what's next for Engineer Oyewole Sobande? What are we expecting? Do we expect a new book? Expect a new project? Something?
Yes, so for me, if someone asked me 4 or 5 years ago, I'm going to be an author, I would deny that because I never see it coming.
Yeah.
Like I said, the inspiration came when I started having, this kind of call from a whole lot of my senior colleagues, a whole lot of my friends who just believe, okay, Wole, please, can you just come and teach us? How do you do it? How do you do that? So another thing was, I was like, okay, if I sit you down, I talk to you, okay, this. How many people am I going to sit down to talk to them? And okay, this is how, or this will work for me, blah, blah, blah. So I was just sitting down in the hotel one day and came up, okay, why not put this idea in a book, together? And so the inspiration came when I was, having a thought about a whole lot of things I was doing for a lot of people and all that. So I think, yes, it's something I enjoyed. And then I think we're going to move further. So we need to watch out for the next project. And it's going to come very soon. Okay. I can tell you. So because, like I said, I didn't put everything inside the book. Like, it's not everything. The book is too small to tell all my stories,
You have
so,
more.
but of course, exactly. So we have a whole lot of things that I'm still going to share, that a lot of people will have to learn and, learn a lot about myself and my journey so far, because Build It, Scale It stop at a point in my life, right?
So the other part of your life.
The other part, which is about 5 years ago. So
scale bigger.
The other part now is already, in the making, because now we have, of course, we have a foundation that we are running, which is built after, the plan, the Oyewole Sobande Foundation. We need to talk about what we are doing, and then the impact of this also in the society, why it's important. And then the company also, which I lead, is also diversifying in a whole lot of businesses and all that. So this is the whole of pack idea that we still plan to, share in the next project. So there's a lot to watch out for.
Watch out. Engineer Oyewole Sobande is coming, so watch out. So, last fun fact about you. What's the fun fact that somebody doesn't know? Like, people don't know about you. Maybe your employees don't even know about this part of you.
Yeah, I'm going to disappoint them. Because, yes, a whole lot of them don't know. So what they know about me, I'm a bit introverted. Yes, maybe I'm a shy person. I'm just trying, to come out of that part. And yes, I'm highly emotional because they made me cry sometimes. Of course, I don't really like surprises, and they've done a whole lot. So, but what they don't know about me is that I'm a good cook. Yes, so, but I've not been able to have time to do that in a long while. I could remember while I was in school, I was the chef. With my friends and all that. A whole lot of them, when they hear this, they can say that, I can remember one of my housemates then in school, back in school. She was married, and then she was pregnant during our school time. And then she will always come to eat my food as a pregnant woman. So she dare not, she can't eat any other person's food. So I'm very good at cooking, and then my best food is cooking rice, beans, and plantain. So they don't know that part. My staff don't know.
So they have us to thank. We just brought out this part of you. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Engineer Oyewale Shubande. It's been amazing. Like I've enjoyed every moment spent in the studio with you. And please do not forget to follow us on our social media accounts, Page to Shelf Podcast on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on TikTok. Don't forget to tell your friends, your family, your yard people, your village people, everybody to follow Page to Shelf Podcast. And it's been amazing having you, Engineer Oyewale. I hope to do this again sometime. Maybe when you're talking about, we'll come and discuss your next project or discuss the foundation.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir.
It's a privilege and honor to be here.
Thank you. So we'll meet again next time. I'm your host, Goodness Eze. Bye.